What's up, fight fans? This is Corructed with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Ismael, Barroso, Rolly, Romero. People, I have witnessed one of the worst stoppages in the history of the sport. We have Rolly Romero and Ismael Barroso, which is 40 years old, and a lot of people, including myself, was clowning this man in the build-up of this fight. He came out of nowhere, a tough Venezuelan fighter, but his record didn't, and his knockouts didn't, and his power didn't come out of nowhere, okay? Ismael Barroso showed that not only was he game, but he was whooping the young fighter's ass. The young fighter was actually getting beat. He was winning on all three scorecards. I'm looking at this bout. The punches that Rolly was throwing were missing. A lot of them were rubberneck shots. He threw one shot, a left uppercut. He missed with that shot. Barroso came back with his own punch. He catches him with a solid left and a right. Then another right hand, and he goes to the body, and surprisingly, Tony Weeks stops the fight. And the saddest thing is, I was just praising Tony Weeks in my first edition of Referees Review. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to do another Referees Review because this review stinks, okay? And it's sad to say, but this is the sport that I love, that I hate so much. Because not only Barroso was in a situation where he was born to lose. He was put there to lose. This was more like a WWE, WWF, some kind of wrestling fake federation type situation where you just paid a fighter to be there. He didn't supposed to win. And if he did win, something would have to happen. And guess what? It did. Okay? This is exactly what happens when a fighter is paid to lose. Okay, they wanted to market Rolly. He's the younger fighter. He has one loss to Tank Davis, which now is the superstar, the face of boxing. So he's like what you call second in the command. So why would he be beaten by a 40-year-old? That goes against the narrative. That's why this fight had to happen the way it did. Okay. Excuse me. Now, looking at a lot of these type of situations, you look at boxing being so rigged, but this is the one thing that I am ashamed of. It's Tony Weeks. See, Tony Weeks didn't have to be a part of any of these. None of this pure case of corruption. Teddy Atlas said it best. It's corruption. Okay? And Tony did not have to contribute to it, okay, because that was the defining factor. They robbed Barroso because they knew this fight, there's no way Rolly, the way he was fighting, the way he was taking these big shots by Barroso, because the dude is 24 wins, 3 losses, 22 by KO. Now 4 losses. But those 22 by KO came by blunt force trauma. He dropped Barroso, I believe, in the third. He dropped Rolly in the 3rd round. And the punches that he landed, and he landed some decent shots, but then he pushed him down. So where was the ref, first of all, to caution the other fighter for the foul? And that's one of my pet peeves with referees, where they see a shot and then they pretend that that shot is, they see a decent shot. And then a foul happens and they act like they don't see it just because the guy's hurt. That's exactly the time when you protect the fighter. That's when you're supposed to. Okay, when he's got hurt with a shot, but then if he's fouled too, and don't let it be the same place, like an elbow or something like KSI situation. Well, you must understand you don't stop being a referee once a fight goes in a whole different direction. You still have to be a ref because that's what you're paid to do. But I guess Tony Weeks, I'm sad. I'm embarrassed to say Tony Weeks was paid to do what he's supposed to do. The way he jumped in when that exchange was piss poor. And I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of the referee situation. I'm ashamed that Tony Weeks had to be bought out like he was. It was a shit show, people. You guys tell me what you think about Ismael Barroso being robbed, being done wrong, having a great example of corruption placed upon him to Rolly Romero, the younger guy that they want to market. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.